Hey guys, I'm Aferzon, and today I'm going to talk to you about Sam Morse and the Telegraph. Prepare for some really bad jokes. Okay, let's get started. Sam Morse was born in London, England, not to be confused with London, France, on April 27, 1791. All his life, Morse wanted to paint, but his father hated art and wanted him to become a doctor or a lawyer, kind of like my parents. Eventually, he convinced his dad to let him study art, and he went to America to start painting, because if you want the best, you go to America. Primary source quote number 1 coming up. In a letter written to his father, Morse wrote, "I wish that in one instant I could tell you of my safe arrival, but we are 3,000 miles apart, and we must wait 4 long weeks to hear from each other." Afterwards, he set up a studio and started to paint and sell his pieces. To his dismay, no one really wanted to buy them, and he lived very poor. Finally, he gave up and sailed back to Europe. On the return trip, he saw how everyone communicated over long distances using drum beats or smoke signals. He realized how much of a fuss that was and thought about how amazing it would be to communicate to anyone, anywhere, instantly. It was then that he uttered the quote that got him going on the telegraph. "If the presence of electricity can be made visible in any part of the circuit, I see no reason why intelligence may not be transmitted instantaneously by electricity." End quote, Samuel Morse. While on the ship the Sully, yes, that's the ship's real name, he started sketching out the telegraph. Even though he was really determined to invent the telegraph, he knew absolutely nothing about electricity. Shocking, right? Anyway, in order to account for his complete lack of knowledge in the main thing needed for his invention, he partnered up with Alfred Vail and Joseph Henry. Morse finally finished his device in 1843. It worked by having the sender press a switch that closed a buzzer circuit that sent a buzz across the telegraph wire to the receiver, which had a speaker that played the buzz out loud. Things were working out swell for Morse and the gang, but then they realized that they couldn't just communicate words or even letters through one monotone buzz. After some thought, Sam invented Morse code. He assigned each letter a pattern of dots and dashes. The sender would tap the switch for a dot and hold the switch down a little longer for a dash. The communication problem was making everyone dotty, but Morse code worked out dashingly. After that, Morse needed a way to string telegraph wires everywhere. When he asked the British, French, and Russian governments for money to put telegraph wires up everywhere, they all said no. Then good old America came along and gave Sam $30,000 to run a telegraph line from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore. In May 1844, the first public telegraph message was sent. It read, "What hath God wrought?" That's a mouthful. The telegraph spread faster than Donald Trump's campaign. Newspapers, railroads, and businesses quickly started using telegraphs. In 1886, a telegraph wire was strung across the Atlantic from the U.S. to Europe. Many advancements were made to the telegraph. First, a system that wrote the dots and dashes on paper as they came in, a more pronounced speaker, and even the quadruplex system invented by Thomas Edison. The quadruplex system allowed 4 messages to be sent by the same telegraph at the same time. Many people think that Thomas Edison invented the telegraph, but that story is just plain phony. By 1940, there were 40 telegraph lines across the Atlantic and many more across the U.S. Morse died rich on April 2, 1872, creating the basis for modern-day telephones.